Chicago Fire Recap October 22, 25, Season 14 Episode 4, Mercy. Tonight on NBC, Chicago Fire returns with an all-new Wednesday, October 22, 2025, Season 14 Episode 4 called, Mercy, and we have your Chicago Fire recap below. In tonight's Chicago Fire Season 14 Episode 4, as per the NBC synopsis, Firehouse 51 must band together after a devastating fire catches them off guard. Vasquez continues his quest for answers. Violet and Novak face an unexpected roadblock in the new training protocol. Tonight's Chicago Fire Season 14 Episode 4 looks like it is going to be great and you won't want to miss it. While you're waiting for our recap, check out all our Chicago Fire recaps, news, spoilers and more, right here. Tonight's Chicago Fire begins now. Refresh page often to get the most current updates. In tonight's Chicago Fire, with Mouch's steak and Molly's now sold to them, the Herman family were doing good on money. They took a hit when Herman dropped rank and they were doing better now. There was no need for Cindy to get a job. She knew that, and she still got one because the kids were getting older. She wanted to do something for herself. She was out that day. Annabelle was the only one home. Annabelle didn't feel well. Herman suspected she had a test that day. Cindy was kinder. Cindy let her stay home, and that decision might haunt her after tonight. Herman was at the station when he got a call about a house fire. He instantly recognized the address as his own. The house on fire was his house, and he grew worried about his daughter. He tried calling her. He had kid calling her. He even called Cindy to get her to try calling Annabelle as well. The whole time it was a parent's worst nightmare. The whole house was aflame. Herman didn't know where his kid was. He called out to her and he got nothing back. He doesn't even know how the fire started. The firefighters were supposed to be floating around with the paramedics. It was actually Herman's day to float with Violet and Novak, but then that call came in. The whole house didn't bother waiting for orders. They all went to the scene to see if there was anything they could do. Pascal was out that day, and so Severide was in charge. It was Severide who told dispatch that he didn't care the house was outside of their district. Severide cleared it with the chief as the scene too. Herman searched until Cindy arrived at the scene to tell them that Annabelle changed her mind. The teenager decided to go to school anyways. She was safe. Cindy spoke to all the kids. They were all accounted for and the building needed to be cleared. Herman just refused to leave. He was gathering up mementos when Vasquez dragged him out of that fire. Herman still wanted to go back in to save his house. The explosion stopped him. The house was gone. There was no saving it. Herman was going to stay at a hotel with his family. He couldn't move in with his brother because his brother lives too far away and it would take the kids out of school. It was Herman's friends that began gathering essentials. They were going to try and help as much as they could. Mouch later contacted his friends at CFD. He got the family some temporary housing. That way they weren't constantly stuck in the hotel or blow through their savings. The kids were grumbling about sharing a room. Still, it was something. The family was set until the new year. Herman and Cindy were also both wondering what caused the fire if no one was at home. Herman reached out to Severide. Severide said the first at the scene believed the fire started in the kitchen. The only thing Herman could think of was that they rewired some of the outlets. He asked Severide if that could have caused it, and Severide said it was a possibility. He then asked Herman who did the job. It turns out it was Herman. He did it himself to save money. He was left wondering if he nearly killed his family by trying to save a few bucks. Severide offered to look into it. He also approved of Cap replacing Herman with the paramedics. Cap has a thing about needles. He was a great firefighter. He was just horrible at everything else. He was very accident-prone. Violet and Novak needed this dry run to go well because Chief Robinson said she could implement it at other firehouses if it works out. Therefore, they needed someone other than Cap. They tried to tell Severide that, and Severide said Cap works as a firefighter on one of the most elite squads in the city. It just didn't stop him from having a thing about needles, and unfortunately their first call was about a man who fell while undergoing acupuncture. It was Cap's worst fear. Yet, Cap rose to the occasion. He was surprisingly a good paramedic. Severide's decision wasn't all that bad, and still Cap was going to Cap. He somehow managed to get one of the acupuncture needles in his neck. The paramedics left that part out of their report. It helps they didn't see the needle until after they got back to the station. Severide also came through another way. He determined what caused the fire. It wasn't wiring. There was a leak in the stove. It happened right at the ignition, which caused the fire, Severide figured out with some help from his foster son. Isaiah was struggling lately. His mother's health suffered a setback. It made Isaiah snap at his foster parents because they were a safe place. He knew he could be mad at them and not get hurt in return. Isaiah had stopped by the firehouse after forgetting his keys. He saw the photos that Severide was looking at and realized it was from Herman's house. Isaiah has met Herman. He liked him. Severide asked for a pair of young eyes, and Isaiah helped Severide and Van Meter with the problem. Isaiah also donated his Chicago Bulls hat from the 98-foot championship. The fire truly had nothing to do with Herman. It was simply a fluke that no one could have foreseen. Plus, they have insurance. It just couldn't replace the memories, and that's what Herman was struggling with. Herman went back to his old house. He went digging through the rubble for anything that survived. Mouch came by. He helped, and Mouch found Cindy's mother's ring. The one she thought she had lost forever. It wasn't much, but it was something. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.